project, and I'm sure it'll be used like a sidewalk. But the real purpose for what we're doing in here is to put a concrete cap over the electric lines that will be serving these buildings on the south side of T-Bone Alley.
Just a lot of utilities in here.
All kinds of utilities. In this last go-around, when we brought in the electric utilities and the cable and the grease trap sewer line, we just couldn't get the electric lines very deep. You're supposed to have them, I think, 36 inches deep, and we couldn't do that. And so the solution is, if you can't do that, you must cap it with concrete, which is what we're doing here.
And looks like hauling it in one wheelbarrow at a time, right?
There's no other way. It's hard work. These guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, they just keep going back for another load, and they've got it all, look like all the rebar and everything all set up.
I think they've got 4 wheelbarrows going.
Any other utilities you plan for here?
No, I think we're done.
Here's our mobile concessionaire.
Well, yeah, we finally got it mobile, and we will be traveling around the grounds today, selling hot dogs, cold drinks, ice pops, chips, and this will all go to the benefit of the Northeast Texas Food Bank, with a portion of it going to the Downtown Coalition. And this is Denise Mccarty over here. She's our director. She might like to put her 2 cents in.
All right, we'll get her 2 cents. We want to hear a little bit more from you, Claude Walter. So
okay.
You have not only the good hot dogs today, but you got ice cream as well, is that right?
We're going to have ice cream probably after 10:30.
Oh, okay.
And that'll be a part of this little train that we've developed here. And might tell you a little bit about the cart. This was a brainstorm that I had a couple months ago, and we bought a junk golf cart.
Oh, it looks pretty good to me.
And it looks good now, but we've spent a solid month and a half refurbishing this golf cart. It has a new motor. It's been completely rewired. It's got all new tires. We've got hot and cold running water on it now. And of course, we didn't have quite room enough, so we had to put our cold drinks in a little trailer behind it. But this gives the food bank a way to make money during special events, parades, that sort of thing. Events down here on the square. And this is what we needed to do to go along with all the donations the food bank gets, because we do distribute about 500,000 to 1 million pounds of food a year.
Uh-huh.
So it's a pretty viable program, and this is just a little plus for it. And I really have felt grateful to the people in the community that have donated to this. Jeff down at Ben's Shoes sewed the canopy for us. He recovered our seats with real leather. And that whole deal cost me $20.
Wow.
And sign
bell there.
We've got us a little bell. There was a little few bells and whistles that I put on it myself, but the signs were donated by Sign Pros out on Highway 11.
Wow.
The tub was donated by Tractor Supply Company for our cold drinks. Tractor Supply has donated the paint that we painted it with, and a lot of nuts and bolts that you don't see. But they have just been fantastic in their efforts to help us with this program, as have a lot of other people that I haven't mentioned. John down at Discount Wheel and Tire, he fixed all the tires on it. This thing came with 4 flat tires. Oh. And John did that at no charge to us. It was a donation. I'm trying to think who else, and I'm going to leave somebody out, and I'm sorry for that. It's not intentional. But everybody in the world has donated this. O'Reilly's was a big contributor. They donated the shocks for it. When we got it, the shocks were froze up. So they have been a good contributor. And we've had several people that would come along that didn't contribute merchandise, but they contributed $50 or $100 here and there to help this whole thing go together. I got in over my head on it, to be honest about it, because it has taken a whole lot more than I thought it would take. I really didn't have any idea how long it would take and what it would take to rebuild a golf cart. And this on the golf course, I understand they call these beer buggies. Till I bought this thing, I didn't know what a beer buggy was. Well, it's not a beer buggy anymore. It's a coffee and donut and hot dog and cold drink stand. And that's about all I can tell you.
All right, well, very good. Let's talk to Denise a little bit. This is Denise Mccarty, manager of the food bank. And how about these board members like Claude Walter, huh?
I tell you, he is like a shot in the arm. We really needed some way of getting money. It takes money to run a food bank too, not just the food, but money, and just to do the little things that we need to get done. And this is our president of the food bank, Tim Glenn, and he's out here. We have several of our board members that are out here working that have put money into this. I don't know what to even call it. It's kind of like a spectacular event for us. I don't know, but the community again is just been wonderful to us, and we're just hoping that they continue and come out. If you're sitting at home and you want a good hot dog, we'll serve you one.
All right. The food donations are very, very nice, and we don't want to.
Wonderful.
But at the same time, people that give you cash, you can do so much with that people more than people can do walking into a grocery store.
That's right. I pay. If I purchase food, I buy it so much cheaper. I buy it for 7 cents a pound, and you cannot buy anything like that anywhere. But donations are still good. But money donations are wonderful, because that way it keeps the lights on. It keeps us, fixing things that go wrong. And this is just our effort to do that, because there's a lot of organizations that got their hand out here in town, and we just trying to do it on our own a lot too. So if you want to come down and give us a donation, that'd be wonderful too.
Well, thank you for all you do. This is designed if people buy big stuff, right?
Right. If they get some big piece of furniture or several items that they can't carry to their car, that's what this is for. We'll haul it for them.
And about 100 vendors out here, I believe, today.
We had 103 sign up. We've had just a few that haven't shown up, but hey, it's a fantastic turnout.
And so you've managed to squeeze them all in somewhere, somehow.
That's right. We've got them all over the square and over here beside Alliance Bank and down Conley, and so we're just got them everywhere.
And looks like a pretty good turnout. It's hard to tell that people are spread out so much, but I'm sure that people will continue to show up all day.
Yeah, the crowd is beginning to grow and grow and grow. We're beginning to see more and more people come, so we're expecting a pretty good crowd around lunchtime or so.
So this a pretty good deal this year is something you look forward to maybe continuing in years to come.
Yeah, it's something we're going to have either twice a year or once a year. We haven't decided yet how we're going to do it. We already have vendors wanting to reserve their spaces for the next one.
Oh boy.
So that's a good thing. So.
All right. Well, it looks like a great event, and we're looking forward to seeing how it's going today.
Well, great. And the weather couldn't be better, and so everybody, you need to come on out.
Okay. Give me your name. please?
It's Garland Hayes.
All right. Well, tell us what you've got set up here today.
Okay, this is Blueberry, the Longhorn riding bull. We use him to take pictures on. Pictures are $8. You get your picture right here immediately. This bull, he rides just like a horse. He's just extremely gentle and real well broke.
My goodness, how do you get a gentle bull? I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
It takes a long time, and you start with them when they're very young. He's 5 years old. He's been doing this about 2 years now.
He always has that same temperament, huh?
Same temperament. When you get someone on him to take a picture, he'll turn his head around. He poses for the camera.
Boy, I've seen so many at the rodeo. He just, even at this distance, I'm not sure I'm safe.
This is true. There you go.
Who's your helper here today?
That's Miss Hannah Moreland. That's Enola Gay's granddaughter right there.
We've seen some pictures of her around the station.
Yes, we sure have. She's my right hand.
Well, have a good day out here today.
Yeah, y'all too.
Give us your name, please.
Brian Hobbs.
You're a familiar face to us, one of our radio preachers.
Yes, sir. Christ Temple.
Have you found things out here today?
It's phenomenal. We don't have things like this in Arkansas. This is awesome. So,
Right. Anything you're looking for in particular? Or?
mallards and ducks to finish my office. We just newly remodeled my office at the church, and we're trying to find mallards and ducks, and I've only found a few of them. So,
well, you've got a natural-born media talent here. He's reaching for the microphone.
yes, sir. He's going to be a movie star, he thinks, I think.
What is this young man's name?
His name is Braden Cord Hobbs. Say hi. Look, say hi.
Hi, Braden. How are you? Well, we're glad you're enjoying things out here.
Oh, I'm enjoying it. It's awesome. Having a great day. Beautiful outside.
You betcha. Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Test.
Groundbreaking ceremony for the Main Street Streetscape project. Yeah! This will be the beginning of the revitalization of our downtown. It is only the beginning. It will be an asset, though, to the entire community, and it will be a catalyst for improvements in our historic downtown district. It will demonstrate the city's vitality, its ability to adjust to changing economic conditions, and to transform our downtown into a vital, productive district that it once was. Yay! It will have an impact on our community, and it will be the stimulus, or a stimulus, for growth in our local economy. I'd like to thank the City Council generally for their leadership regarding downtown. It was they who turned to me, 2-3 years ago, Freddie, and said, "Hey, Maxwell, isn't it time we got something going downtown?" And specifically, I'd like to thank the City Council for approving this project, for allowing us to do it with our capital construction crew. So we're going to get started here today. I'd like to thank the Downtown Business Alliance. Rita, thank you, and everybody in the organization for all that you have done for the betterment of downtown. I'd like to thank GUs and the Downtown Revitalization Board for all of their contributions in setting up the guidelines under which downtown will be revitalized. I'd like to thank my staff for their hard work and dedication, and specifically I want to thank the Capital Construction Division, because they happen to have the skill set that allows us to do this in-house. If they didn't have it, we wouldn't be standing here today. We'd be back at City Hall wondering how we were going to get this done with the budget that we had. So thank you to them in advance. And last of all, thank you to all of you for coming here today to commemorate this, the beginning of our downtown revitalization. And I'm going to turn it over to who will likely be our next Mayor Pro Tem, Gary Spraggins.
Well, we're just tickled to be here this morning and tickled to see all you folks out. This is a historical thing happening today because this is the start, the first dirt moved about the revitalization of downtown. We're going to turn downtown into a place that people want to walk around and visit. And I was trying to get online over there a while ago. This may be a hot spot before too long. We talked about making the Wi-Fi friendly down there and all sorts of things going on. I asked Rita Edwards a minute ago, whenever we decided not to go the Main Street deal, and she stood in front of council, she says, "We'll be keeping an eye on you people." And I said, "Have you been keeping an eye on it?" She says, "Yes, I have." I said, "Are we doing okay?" She says, "Yes, you are." But it's not just us, it's the County Commissioner's Court. County Commissioner's Court working in turn with us on the TIF project also. That will be coming very shortly, and we're excited about that. We'll be able to get not only this block done, but be working on the square over there. I've been telling people that we're going to make the square not a parking lot, but a park. I kind of like that idea, don't y'all? I've been telling people that you're not going to recognize our downtown 3 or 4 years away. It's going to be so different and so much improved that people are going to be thoroughly thrilled about it. Everything he said, though, the historical aspects of it, all the people involved, this is a community project, and it's not just the people in downtown that will benefit. It's the entire city, yeah, even the entire county that will benefit from this as more people are drawn into the downtown. So I want to thank every one of y'all for being here as we break ground on the Main Street Streetscape project. There we go. I had to think for a second there on the ski. Let's just hear a round of applause. By the way, Mark Maxwell. Yeah. I asked Mark and I asked Peter. I said, "Have you guys got time to put into doing the downtown revitalization without doing the Main Street or anything?" And they said, "Oh, yeah, because we live for this stuff. These are the things that we work from 5 in the afternoon till 7 in the evening on. This is like the airport terminal and the Coleman Park project, the things that are fun. These are not just potholes that we're filling up and finding a way to fix a main that's broken. These are the fun projects for us. So your city staff is absolutely online and excited and fired up about this project. So let's give them all a hand, the whole staff. These guys work hard all the time. That's all I've got to say. Who else wants to say something?
All right, everybody get a hot dog, get out of the way, and go equipment.
kind of things have been going on since then?
A lot. The street has been excavated, the base material is brought in and set to grade, and at this very moment they're actually drilling the piers for the lights.
Didn't you tell me at one time that you had to do something special with the dirt to be able to accommodate the street trees?
That's next.
Oh, that's next.
We're going to actually, remember the trees on the square down the middle in the parking lot that for 15 or 20 years didn't grow at all, and we eventually died and we pulled them out. Well, the problem is roots don't grow very well underneath concrete or brick. They don't get the air and they don't get the water as well. And so what is supposed to be done in a situation like that is you bring in a special soil and you ventilate it. You run a vent pipe through it and allow air to get to the roots. So we're actually mixing very soon a type of soil called structural soil developed by Cornell University. That is basically, it's rock that's with some sand and organic and a water binder to fill the void, so the roots can and air can make their way through between the rocks, and the rock is there to support the sidewalk that sits on top of it, because you got to have some structural strength, hence the name structural soil. So we're going to dig a trench on both sides of the street, several feet wide, not very deep because we're already pretty deep. And then we start filling up from there with the structural soil for the trees.
It's pretty dramatic. The concrete got busted up pretty quick and everything on the street and everything. Do you feel like it's pretty much coming along on schedule?
Oh yeah, it's moving along really well. My hat's off to Mr. Vance and his entire crew.
And they've set it up in such a way where people can still negotiate their way to the merchants. So they've got a little bit of sidewalk.
And that's a big point. They're still open for business. You can still get to the front door. So if you have shopping to do, no reason to wait. And I get a lot of people that ask me, wow, it's awfully deep out there. How's that all going to work? Well, it is deep. But it's not just a brick road. It's brick over concrete. So this still has quite a ways to go. And believe me, it is engineered to the nth degree on how all that works out, tying in the buildings and the sidewalk and the street all together so that it works. So it will work, and it'll look natural when it's done.
All right. It's been a long time since we've talked.
We had another development I forgot to mention. All of the utilities in Main Street have been moved or replaced. We replaced a water line that actually doesn't serve Main Street, just passes through and serves a couple of fire hydrants. But everything else has been moved or replaced except the gas main, and Atmos has been unwilling to replace or relocate it. But it looks like we have some movement on that front, and I'm hoping that here in the next week or two that they'll make the decision to move it to Tomlinson Alley. And if that gets done, that's great. Then we don't have to worry about any utilities underneath the street at all.
Yeah, as we've talked before, it'd be a terrible, terrible thing to have to tear it up.
Oh, you don't want to spend this kind of money on a street. You don't want to spend any money rebuilding a street unless you've done the infrastructure below it first, which is what we do.
And what we're looking at here is some special dirt, huh?
Yeah, you know, we have several types of special dirt. You know, dirt that goes underneath the streets, and this is one that we've never used before. We've actually made it ourselves. It's called structural soil, and it's made for tree roots. Tree roots that are going to have to grow underneath an impermeable surface like concrete or asphalt or brick. So we're planning for the future health of the trees.
So this is a special recipe?
Yeah, it's a special recipe. We start with a certain type of rock, and we mix clean sand, and then we mix peat moss for the organics, and then there's a water binder that's put in it as well to help retain the water. If you don't do this, you end up with a situation like we had in the middle of the square, where we had live oak trees that were there for 20 years and never grew. The trees' roots have to have, of course, water, but also air underneath the sidewalk. And so there will be vent pipes that come up for air and travel underneath the length of the whole thing so that they can have roots, so that these trees will flourish and provide shade for the shoppers on Main Street.
So you've kind of got two levels. You've got this lower level that allows the roots to go and all this other stuff to happen. Then you've got the real strong layer right underneath the concrete.
Well, actually, it's structural soil all the way down.
Oh, okay. What's going on next year now at Main Street?
Well, we're at the stage where we're actually beginning to form up and pour concrete. You'll see at the end of the street down here that they're forming up to pour the foundations for seat walls. We call them seat walls because they're going to be just the right height to sit on, but it's a little wall around the larger planters at both ends of the street.
Oh, okay. So things still coming along well here? You feel like you're ahead of schedule? Or?
Yeah, we do, and we're doing remarkably well considering all that has happened down here.
And you've had a lot of rain.
We've had rain. We had an employee die,
right.
And that was just tragic well, especially for his family. But Mr. Perry has left a big hole in our organization. It's going to be felt for a while. And we've had employees out, and it's been tough. But this is an amazing crew. Yeah. And they are, I come out here a couple times a day, and every time I come out here, they've made substantial progress on something.
Very good, thank you. You bet. What's the latest on Main Street? Good news over there?
You know, every time you go by there, it's made progress from the last time. Go by and get some footage of it. They're making tremendous progress. They're actually forming up for curbs right now. So it's going extremely well.
Start seeing some street concrete over there?
Yeah, I bet we'll see it late next week, early next. We'll start seeing the street beginning to appear.
All right, sounds exciting.
Tremendous. I got to say, I am so proud of our Capital Construction Division. They have really risen to the occasion here. And, you know, you go over there, you don't see a bunch of guys standing around. You see everybody working and working diligently. It's just impressive to see the progress they make.
I would imagine a lot of these guys that do this kind of work, they take pride in the finished product. They really, they can look at it and know that they had a part of it and all that stuff.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Okay.
How could you not?
Yeah. Thank you.
You bet.
Well, something new out here at Main Street now, and sure looks like concrete out here.
It is. This is the first of 5 pours that will become the street.
What all are they doing here?
Well, this is they're actually forming up the foundation that the bricks will sit on. It's brick over concrete with a thin layer of sand in between, and you'll notice that it's not just a flat street. That you've got areas that are raised above others. And for example, you see what looks like a beam down the middle of the street. That is the center stripe between the brick. And you'll see areas that will be valley gutters when the brick are up level with the top of them, and areas that will become crosswalks with brick in the middle and concrete borders on either side. It's all being poured what they call monolithically. It's one continuous pour, so you've got these beams in the middle. They're called floating. I mean, these forms in the middle that are called floating forms. And then halfway through the pour, they take them off and pour everything else. It's a complicated and delicate maneuver.
Yeah, it almost looks like your brick would be surrounding these concrete places, but you say some of them are actually going to come all the way out.
Well, they do fill in the fields in between the center beam and the valley gutters, but they themselves will also be sitting on a thin bed of sand over concrete.
This is intricate work, huh?
It is. We've got quite a large crew out here working on it today. Thankfully, a very experienced concrete workers.
Yeah, it would challenge them, I would think.
I think it is. I'm staying out of their way.
I see Johnny Vance over there. He looks like one of your Civil War generals right in the middle of the battle.
He's right in the middle of it. You know, there's so many ways for this to go wrong. And I bet you he was down here before the sun rose this morning planning out every move.
Quite an impressive piece of equipment here that's actually delivering the cement. Obviously something you had to rent here.
Yeah, it's a pumper truck that we rent from time to time. When you can't back the concrete truck up to where you need the concrete, you got to rent something like this to get it there.
All right. How long do you think they'll be in the concrete business here?
Well, I don't know. This is the first of 5 pours for the street, and then when we're done pouring concrete for the street, then we start working on the sidewalk. So, you know, we're still planning on mid-October to have the whole project done.
And it sounds like you've got some bids will be coming in, I guess, mid-month on your brickwork.
Yeah, we've got to buy the brick, and we'll be opening bids 15th or thereabouts.
Well, will that be kind of similar to plant mix project? Oh, go ahead. Okay.
I think we're awarding bids on the 15th, and the date we open is sometime before. So any potential bidders out there, refer to your bid packet, not Maxwell.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.